Hello again everybody, this is Gusto, and today I'm going to be examining the emergency flying ration of the Royal Air Force, and this is the Mark 9 edition. This particular ration I couldn't find a whole lot of information about. You can see some earlier versions of the emergency flying ration on Steve 1989's channel, the Mark II and the Mark IV. My understanding of these rations is that they are packed with a more comprehensive survival kit, and this is specifically the food portion of the emergency kit. What I could find is that these are usually packed in multi-engine aircraft and likely multiple crew aircraft, usually stored in the life raft section of the emergency supplies. If we take a look at this canister, it is much larger than the earlier versions. The Mark II was a very small package, about a third the depth of this, and the Mark IV was kind of a sardine can type that was just filled with toffees. This one is a lot more robust. It's sealed around the outside with black tape, and there you can see the label showing a packaging date of 6 of 2002. From what I can tell, this is 2 pieces of aluminum sealed together with tape. So let's peel this tape and take a look at what's inside. Under the tape, you can see the 2 pieces of aluminum. The top portions have holes on the corners, and we'll get to what that's for here in a little bit. It does contain instructions and some wire handles, and there's all of the beverages and food. And we'll take a look at all the individual contents. First of all, we have a flavored food bar. And you can see the size of that. And there's actually 2 of them in there. We'll have to unpack the rest to get to it. This is the beverage pack. Beef stock cubes. Sugar cubes. There's actually 2 packages of sugar cubes. And the second package of food bars. Like I showed earlier, this tin does have holes, and those are for attaching the handles. We'll get to that as well. It does come with an instruction set. You can read those if you like. And then it gives instructions on how to prepare the food. Here are the handles, and there are 4 of them. And I did notice on closer inspection that actually both sections of the canister have holes for inserting the wire loops, and that is for the purpose of making cookware. Insert one there. And then the second one, and these wires are pretty springy. It makes a pretty handy little pot to cook with a handle that doesn't get too hot. You can put one on both sides if you want, but that's how that's intended to be used. This kit also contains a fairly large bag, and that's intended to be used for storing either leftover food or water. It says in the instructions multiple times, reminders not to use seawater for preparation of any of this. Let's open up the beverage pack and take a look what's inside there. As you can see, everything is wrapped in this very highly reflective foil pouch, and this could be used for signaling if need be. The packaging is kind of a plastic covered foil. There's the beverages. It's wrapped in cellophane tightly. And this stuff is about 15 years old, so it'll be interesting to see how it weathered. First we have some packages of really smooth 1-cup instant coffee. And it looks like there are 7 of these. There are some packages of instant white tea. It is kind of hard, so this may not be very good. This does contain tea whitener. We'll see what that looks like when we open it up. There are 4 packages of that, and again, that's instant white tea. There are 7 packages of coffee complement, which is shown to be glucose and vegetable fat, and it's pretty sour smelling. It'll be interesting to see what those look like. Next, let's open up the food bars, but I'm going to put these onto a tray so I don't make too much of a mess. So let's take a look at these things. This does make up most of the bulk of the package. It states, eat only when hungry, no more than 8 tablets per day, no more than 1 tablet at a time, and chew slowly and well. Those instructions are reiterated on the paper there, but it also says to develop your own plan regarding how much you need to eat per day. This is in the same style bag. I'll get this open. And there they are. Each one comes wrapped in a paper container. They look like a pressed biscuit. Smell alright. Get a couple of those out. And just for completeness sake, we'll open the second one to make sure they're all the same. Yeah, they do appear to all be the same type of biscuit. Next, we'll take a look at the beef stock cubes, and we'll prepare this the way that it's instructed. So you have 1 tin, which the instructions show holds 3/4 of a pint of water, and you're supposed to add 1 of these cubes to each tin. It's pretty well vacuum sealed. And these are individually wrapped beef bouillon cubes. We'll open one of these up and put it in the tin. And these are not unlike what you would find at the store. There you go. Pretty dark brown. Very salty beef smell. And we'll load the tin up with some boiling water. Give that some time to dissolve. Meanwhile, we'll make the beverages. Again, this comes with an instant white tea and some really smooth instant coffee. We'll start with the coffee. So, commercial appearing instant coffee packages. It's pretty hard, so I'm not really sure what I'm going to find in here. It does seem to break up okay. May just be that it was packed very tightly. See if we encounter any mold. That'd be the only problem. Oh yeah, and it is completely packed full of mold. So there you go, you see that fuzzy pale stuff there on the surface of the coffee, and everything inside there has turned into kind of a puck rather than a powder. So this is no good. See if there are any that are acceptable. Try another one. Nope. It's all fuzzy in there too. No good. Let's try the tea instead. This does feel like a powder in there, so a little bit more hopeful. We'll see. Oh, nope. This is also a wafer. So this certainly has been, that may actually be a pinhole right there. You can kind of see on the inside of the package. It's been exposed to moisture, so it is molded and no good. Very sour smelling. And I mentioned earlier that I thought the sour smell was coming off of the coffee complement, which is the glucose and vegetable fat. It's probably no good either because it is very like hard and rubbery feeling. But we'll open it up, just kind of see what state that's in. Oh, look at that. It's almost like a paste. Almost looks like butter. Look at that. That is crazy. Yeah, oh, it feels like taffy. That is so weird. Very sour smelling. So the oils in here have oxidized. They're no good. And there's kind of that sticky candy feel to it. Look at it, you can just kind of fold it over. That's so weird. No good. Oh well. This does come with 2 packages of sugar cubes, and these can be used to sweeten beverages, or they can be used for quick energy also, just simple carbohydrates. They come very well vacuum sealed. And look at that, individually wrapped sugar cubes. That's awesome. Look at that. Very cool. And there's, feels like there's, oh, it's just one per package. That's kind of a nice touch. Yeah, there's 2 sugar cubes per package. There you go. Those look to be in just perfect shape. I'm going to give the broth a few minutes to completely dissolve, and then we'll try out the beef broth and the flavored food bars. Alright, so there we go. Took a few minutes to get that all dissolved in there, but as you can see, it's kind of made a dark brown broth there. Still smells pretty salty. We'll try that first. The handle is still a little bit flimsy, but it'd be good for picking things up off of a fire. You could put both of them on both sides and use both hands to carry. That'd work a little bit better. But those are pretty springy and kind of hard to get in there, so I just went with one. So there you go with the broth up close. Let's give that a taste. And that is a pretty salty broth. This is one of those items that you really want to make sure that you have plenty of fresh water because there's a lot of salt in that, and it could be thirst provoking pretty strongly actually. It does have a beefy flavor, but the main flavor in that is a lot of salt. And then next we have the flavored food bars. There you go. These kind of look like they're a little bit coarser than the inner tabs that were in the Indonesian ration, but they're kind of the same color and they smell about the same, and they're kind of that pressed survival biscuit appearance. Take a look at this. Actually pretty crumbly. There you can see the texture inside. It doesn't have much scent to it at all, and it is very crumbly. Take a bite, try it out. And those are very dry, kind of coarse, but they really don't have a whole lot of flavor. There is a little bit of sweetness to it. Probably the closest thing that I can remember is like a cornflake bar that you see in the survival general purpose rations. But other than that, no distinct flavor. And there are 8 of those bars, and usually these are just pressed grains with some fats, so they tend to be somewhat calorie dense. So really the main caloric component of this ration is going to be these 8 bars. So they could conceivably last quite a while in an emergency situation. So that is it for the RAF Emergency Flying Ration Mark 9. This has been a really interesting ration to explore. It's kind of unfortunate that we didn't get to try any of the drinks, but you know, this being a 15-year-old ration, it's not too surprising that this isn't completely in perfect conditions, but nonetheless, a lot of fun to explore. As always, to my YouTube viewers and subscribers, thank you very, very much for your support. And as always, your support benefits St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Thank you to all the ration review community on YouTube, as well as the folks on MREinfo.com. So please stay tuned for more in the near future. I have a whole lot more stuff to try out. And again, thank you very much. And until next time, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.